John.
Thank you for that introduction, Tim. So, like he said, I'm going to talk about conflict and as it pertains to Stand Up for Kids. In my talk, I'm going to probably reference two main conflicts that we recently had. The first one was, of course, at Sunday dinner that caused us to basically learn and set up a lot of these things that we're going to be talking about. And then another one was one that Tim and I was involved in with Romeo just last Sunday dinner that we de-escalated pretty well. So we used some of the stuff that we learned and applied it to that situation, which kept things pretty calm and kept things under control. So there's quite a few challenges that come along when talking about conflict. Mainly, the way it usually arises at the house is that, like you guys have seen, they'll be out on the streets trying to survive. They come to the house tired, cranky, wanting some food and just wanting to hang out. And then they kind of needle each other, and things kind of escalate and start that way. And so the most important thing to them is their pride and their self-image and kind of their gender and cultural performance. So they feel that they have to protect that. And with that, there are these things called mirror neurons. So when one person says, oh, you're just, so-and-so or whatever, the other person has to protect their image and come back at them and kind of knock the other person down while promoting themselves as well. So that behavior escalates itself, and it creates counter-aggression, and that's when things kind of blow out of proportion. So we can take that and think about the reverse. So thinking about ways to de-escalate, talking about one-down strategies. So some strategies, lower your voice and lower your intensity. So when you hear someone talking about someone taking their 5-hour energy, you want to listen and talk to them and ask them what happened and want to understand that situation. So instead of yelling at them to calm down, you want to talk to them and say, hey, can you talk to me about what happened in a nice, non-threatening voice? And another strategy might be to want to separate the two parties. So, hey, Romeo, come talk to me about what happened. Let's talk, let's talk about some solutions in which we can settle this. And so with that and your nonverbal communication, you can de-escalate some situations that way. Focusing on the problem and not the people involved, and being non-defensive are some other strategies as well. And just trying to understand and not necessarily trying to solve the problem helps out. They want to feel that their feelings are legitimized and that their feelings matter. So that goes quite a long way in helping de-escalate some situations. Some prevention aspects that we have talked about and some stuff that we've implemented is signing in at the youth house. So each volunteer should be conscious of who's showing up and who's signed in. We have made a kind of like a host and a hostess position to where that person will be in charge of going around and making sure people are signed in and making sure they're carded and things like that. But it still should be everyone's responsibility to keep watch over the house. We also would like them to declare weapons that they might have so that we can keep them in the office. Just asking them, hey, do you have any weapons on you, knives, anything like that? And do it in a non-threatening manner and just say, we just would like to, in order to be here at the house, we'd like to lock them up in the office and we will give them back to you afterwards. And usually they will surrender the weapons or just say they don't have any, and no big skirmishes will result from that. We have some set of rules posted around the house, but we might make those larger and might create some more rules on there. But it's just mutual respect for everyone and mutual respect for the volunteers, everyone that comes through. When you hear someone disrespecting another youth, it's good to say, hey, can we not do that? Give them one warning and say, hey, that's the rules here at our house. If you have to warn them again, then we might have to start asking them to leave, or might have to think of another situation to de-escalate that situation. Another thing that might help is identifying people having a bad day. So just going around talking to the youth, finding out about what they have going on, that might help. And so getting them to talk about their problems beforehand will help them feel better and not snap on someone or something that might spark them down the line at the house there. So with these conflicts, it's important to remember that the immediate conflict, it might not be known. Someone could be having a bad day, something in school, something in work that we don't even know about could go into them blowing off, and the one minor thing that someone says, some off comment, could spark them. So keeping that in mind might help out in talking with the youth and trying to solve the problem. And in the situation that we can't de-escalate the problems and you feel that a fight is about to start, we would like to isolate the event and get it outside, and then everyone be inside, lock the doors, and call the cops. And we do not want you, once there's any sign of physical altercations going on, we do not want any volunteer to get involved. It's best to back away and separate yourself from the situation, call the cops, let them come and handle it, make sure everyone else at the house is safe and not getting involved. And after a fight starts, basically you have the cops come in, sort that all out. Then afterwards we have a pretty firm no fighting policy, and basically if it's anything really violent like what happened at the Sunday dinner, then they are going to be banned from our house. But if there's some minor pushing or something and we can stop it from there, then the policy is either like a 30, 60, or 90-day ban from the house, and that's going to deal with it on a case by case basis after that. So that's basically all that I have about conflict.
Cool.